Let's get started with a Hello World theme. So this is going to be the most bare bones theme you can make in WordPress. To start with, so inside the website, on the first level, we're going to go into WP Content, then Themes, and then here's a theme that I create. Here's a theme folder I created called Web D410 Hello World, and it has 3 files in it: functions.php, index.php, and style.css. Index.php is your default template for the site. Functions.php, this will execute, this is the first thing that will execute when a page is loaded. And so this is a place where you can enqueue styles and run other types of code. And style.css, it can be a style sheet. It doesn't actually have to be a style sheet. This is more of the importance of this file in the theme is actually as a configuration file. Now, WordPress has been designed from the beginning to be backward compatible. That means that during one of the many updates, you can run the many updates that WordPress has, and it won't break. You just hit that update button, and it's all very easy. There are some content management systems where they'll have a major update once a year or so, and every time they launch a major update, you have to rewrite all the themes, all the plugins need to be rewritten, and it requires a lot of maintenance to keep the site up to date. Whereas you don't have these issues with WordPress. Now, one of the downsides to that is that it means that it has some bit of funkiness that, because it doesn't keep up to date with modern conventions. So if WordPress had been designed last year, instead of a style.css file, what we would be talking about is an XML configuration file. That would be a more modern way to do this. But this is how the designers came up with this. The designers of the application came up with registering themes like 15 or 20 years ago when themes were created, and so that's why it's done this way. So to register the theme, we're going to look up the main style sheet for the main theme style sheet in the WordPress Codex. I copy it, and all this stuff is very easy to Google. Okay, and then I'm going to paste it in here. Now, the only thing that's actually required is the first line. I'm going to erase this. I'm going to erase this. I'm going to erase these. And the author is going to be me. And the description will be Hello World theme. Okay, now for the index page, I'm going to start with some basic markup. Okay, and just some refresher on HTML markup. The doc type specifies which version of HTML you're running, because there have been different versions of HTML, and the different versions will render a little bit differently. HTML is a variation of XML, and so it's a hierarchical document. So you have on the top level the HTML tag, and then inside that is the head and the body. So something that students will sometimes do is something like this. I've seen this done a lot. So that the header is where the header is put outside of the body. The header actually, a header tag is actually just another block element. It's just like a div, an article, a section. It performs in exactly the same way. There's absolutely no distinction in the way that it will perform as any other block element. So it would actually go inside the body like this. Okay. That being said, let's remove everything I don't need. So the title tag and all these meta tags, all this is going to be generated by WordPress. I'll leave the char set in. Okay, and now we need to have in the top, just below the close of the head, I'm going to put in a WordPress template tag called WP head. And this is used by WordPress to insert anything that it wants to insert into the head of the document. So it could add meta tags, it could add scripts, styles, sheets, anything like that. And then something similar in the footer. It performs exactly the same functions, WP footer. It allows WordPress to insert code into the footer of the document, or at the bottom of the document. Oops. Okay. Okay, and then we want to have the loop. Okay, and inside the loop, I'm going to add 2 template tags. The title and the content. Now the title has 2 optional parameters that allows you to add content to print before and after the title. This is really convenient for adding in some markup without having to break up the PHP. Now you'll notice that this is a loop. The reason why this is a loop is because, remember, this is the default template page. So it can also be used by archive pages, like for the blog homepage, for example, that will list multiple pages. Okay, and so that's why it's a loop. So on an individual page, it's only going to loop one time. But if it's on an index page for like your team listing, it'll loop through all the team members. Now this should actually do it. Oops, I need to change the name of the theme to Hello World. There we go. I'm actually not sure if it's going to like that exclamation point. Let's find out. Here it is. It did. It was fine. Okay, so now I'm going to activate this. Cross your fingers. Everything. Let's see if everything goes as planned. And here we have it. Okay. Now we probably want to have a navigation as well. And so the navigation is this tag here, WP nav menu. And this will allow me to navigate through the site. Now on this page, this is the blog homepage. It's listing all of the blog pages right here. So this is an example of it looping through multiple pages or multiple posts.